Alright, so here we are. I'm going to kick off the introduction to LTspice, which is the software that we're going to use for this class. We're going to be simulating circuits in LTspice quite often. It's a very useful tool, so if I just click on my little LTspice icon down here, I'm using Mac. LTspice is also available on Windows. A lot of people probably will use Windows. I would say that of the two versions, the Mac version is a lot less user-friendly, so I'm going to do most of my tutorials on the Mac version just to make things easy for the Mac users. Anybody who has Windows, feel free to ask me questions. I know how to use both versions, but the Mac doesn't come with all the user interface icons and things that the Windows version does come with. So I'll go ahead and use Mac most of the time. So basically, when you start LTspice, what you want to do normally, what we're going to want to do is we're going to either be opening a previous schematic. The word schematic is basically just a fancy word for the circuit diagram that we're looking at. If we already have one, we would open an existing schematic. If not, which is us right now, we would start a new blank schematic. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I get this blank canvas, okay? So what I'm going to do as I go through this tutorial, let me make this screen a little smaller here, is I'm going to sort of build up circuits and run the simulations and show you how they work. And as I go, I'm going to fill in this little table on the left here, this Google Doc, with the action that I'm performing. So let's say I'm going to place a resistor, then I will write in the action table column, place a resistor, and then I'll write the shortcut or the command here for that action, so that as I go, I'm kind of building up this documentation for the LTspice commands. Even though LTspice has its own documentation, and I'll share that with you, just going to build it up as we go. So just the real basics right off the bat. Whenever we make a new circuit, this is a brand new circuit schematic here. The first thing that we typically would want to do is we'd want to start placing some components. What sources do we want in our circuit? What passive components like resistors do we want in our circuit? And so the way that you do that, so let's open the component selector window. That is using the shortcut F2. I have my function keys on my keyboard set up so that I don't have to press function F2 to get the functionality of the F2 key. I have it flipped. You may need to press Fn plus F2. So maybe I'll write that. It might be Fn plus F2. But for me, it's just going to be F2 because I have that already set up. So let me click F2. And you see that I get this component selector window. There's a whole bunch of different components here. We can see this is probably pretty overwhelming. For us, let's just start with a voltage source. Okay, so I'd start typing the word voltage, and you see immediately as I get narrower in the selector, I'm down to just a voltage source here. And I would click there, and now this is on my trackpad or your mouse at that point, and I can place it pretty much anywhere I want, and then I just click with the left mouse or just click the trackpad. And I have the option to place more of these, but if I don't want to, then I just go ahead and hit escape, and now I'm back where I started, but I have a voltage source in my schematic. Okay, so I just placed my first component, gave a little brief introduction to the software and kind of how I'm going to do this. So now what I'll go ahead and do is I'll end this video, and in the next video I'll actually show some more commands and build a circuit, and then we'll run an operating point simulation.